Hello and welcome. Today we're gonna be revealing the secrets behind these two new legendary Pokemon, Solgaleo and Lunala. But before that, it is prudent to remember that Pokemon uses mythology in order to feed their storylines. A good example is Groudon and Kyogre. Each represents a beast from the apocalypse, where Groudon is the living incarnation of Behemoth and Kyogre of Leviathan. Being said that, we have to find where the new legendary Pokemon from Sun and Moon stand. And in order to bring some light to this question, let's start by the obvious, Japan folklore. Japan already have gods of Sun and Moon, Amaterasu, goddess of the Sun, and Tsukuyomi, the Moon god. Two names impossible to forget thanks to this guy. Although the names were two strong points, there were a lot of missing parts like their appearance, types, and so on. It wasn't until a couple of days ago, June 2nd, where Pokemon revealed some information about the legendary beast that says the next. Since ancient times, Lunala has been honored as an emissary of the moon. It is referred to with reverence as the beast that calls the moon. The beast that calls the moon. If I'm not mistaken, that beast is called Wolf. The first thing that came to my mind was the name Fenrir, son of Loki, entering into the territory of Norse mythology, but Lunala doesn't look like a wolf, so I turned my eyes to Solgaleo, and this is what I found. Since ancient times, Solgaleo has been honored as an emissary of the sun. It is referred to with reverence as the beast that devours the sun. The beast that devours the sun. According to alchemists, the image of a lion devouring the sun represents a being that has reached perfection. In other words, a being who has become a god, perfection itself, the philosopher's stone. This theory seems fitting at first glance, but it really doesn't make sense if we include Lunala on the equation. The beast that calls the moon, the beast that devours the sun. Norse mythology, it has to be, and it actually is. There are two creatures that fit exactly in place, and those creatures' names are Skull, the wolf that chases the horses at Vark, and Alsvior, that drags the chariots which contains the sun through the sky every day, and Hati, who chases the moon. Skull and Hati, the sons of Fenrir, they chase in order to devour. In Gylfaginning, chapter 51, a book that deals with the creation and destructions of Norse gods, also including numerous aspects of Norse mythology, says, "I foretells that as part of the events of Ragnarok, after Fenrir's son Skull has swallowed the sun, and his other son Hati has swallowed the moon, the stars will disappear from the sky, the earth will shake violently, trees will be uprooted, mountains will fall, and all beings will snap. Fenrir will be free. Fenrir will go forth with his mouth open wide, his upper jaw touching the sky, and his lower jaw the earth, and flames will burn from his eyes and nostrils. Later, Fenrir will arrive at the field of Vingrior with his sibling Jormungand. With the forces assembled there, an immense battle will take place. During this, Odin will ride to fight Fenrir. During the battle, Fenrir will eventually swallow Odin, killing him, and Odin's son Vidor will move forward and kick one foot into the lower jaw of the wolf. This foot will bear the legendary shoe, for which the material has been collected throughout all time. With one hand, Vidor will take hold of the wolf's upper jaw and tears apart his mouth, killing Fenrir. It is not a pretty story. It is the end of Earth. It is the end of the world. It is Ragnarok itself. But why do I go all the way to accept these assumptions just with these two simple descriptions? Simple, because it's not the first time Pokemon uses Norse mythology in order to represent their legendary creatures. At the top of the World Tree, Jasadriel, the lands of gods, we find its protector, an unnamed blind eagle that can see the souls of all living things across the 9 realms connected to the tree, Yveltal. At the root, the stacks around the trunk, the land of men, each with a different colored gemstone on their branch-like antlers, the stacks of legends, Dain, Dvalin, Dunir, and Durabror, Xerneas. And finally, under the roots of the tree world, near the realms of death, the serpent dragon, Nidhogg, represented by Sigarde. Putting things in perspective, Pokemon X and Pokemon Y does not have an antagonist Pokemon. But Juvildon and Xerneas complement each other, not by conflict, but as protectors. Remember, humans use their power as weapon, and this is where everything starts coming together. Leading to the next question, who is the third legendary Pokemon from Sun and Moon? You see, we already spoke about the World 3 protectors, but there is one in particular who still have an active role, Sigarde. According to the Pokédex, it is said that Sigarde appears when nature is out of whack, and according to Norse mythology, Nidhogg, the dragon-like snake, it is referred as the one that chewed the corpses of the inhabitants of Nastrand, those guilty of adultery, murder, and oath-breaking, which are worst possible crimes according to Norse society. It seems that Sigarde's angers may be triggered by the actions of the beasts that devoured the sun and the moon, the creatures that brought the world into darkness and possibly awakened a greater disaster. And punishment is Sigarde's way of protecting the world tree given of life. At the moment, I don't have enough information in order to put all these pieces of the puzzle together, but there are still names I wish to explore, such as the two remaining children of Loki, Hel, Lord of the Realm with the same name, and Jormungand, the titanic snake thrown to Midgard, the land of men, and mortal enemy of Thor. Solgaleo and Lunala share psychic type abilities just as siblings would, and Solgaleo's steel type might represent a curse that comes by devouring the sun, gaining a core of steel and becoming weak to its element. The same goes for Lunala. As he swallows the body that rules the dark, he became weak to the shadows in the process. After all, why would the legends of light and dark be weak to their own element? Well, this is all I got. Who would have thought that all the time I spent playing Valkyrie Profile and watching Saint Seiya would pay off? Surely, we will have more information about the new titles Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Moon, and Pokemon Neil deGrasse Tyson. But for now, let the blessing of Odin shower your sword and the Valkyries to accompany you into battle. Until next time.